I want to talk about something that might sound a little controversial. If your business isn't profitable right now, stop looking for more customers. And I know that sounds backwards because everywhere you look, right, somebody is telling you that the solution is more leads, more marketing, more sales, more jobs, more growth. And don't get me wrong, growth is important. Customers always matter. Revenue matters. But if your business isn't producing the profit that you expected, more customers are often the last thing you need. And I want to take a moment and explain why. Because over the last several months, I've had conversations with business owners from all different industries: contractors, healthcare providers, retail businesses, service companies, organizations, different industries, different locations, different revenue levels. But they all keep describing the same feeling. They're busy, really busy. Their phones are ringing, the work is getting done, the revenue is coming in, and people on the outside think that they're doing great. Yet behind closed doors, they're really asking themselves, why does this feel so hard? And honestly, that's one of the most important questions that a business owner can ask. Because if you're generating revenue and you're still feeling stressed all the time, something deserves a closer look. Most business owners I talk to are busy. They're booked out, they've got a great reputation, they're doing everything right. But when they actually sit down and look at their numbers, something doesn't quite add up. The profit doesn't match the effort, and it's usually not a sales problem. It's a visibility problem. I'm Shannon Howard. I work with HVAC owners, electricians, plumbers, and contractors to uncover hidden profit, fix those leaks, and help you keep more of what you earn. This is Profit Isn't an Accident. So let's get real for a minute. Nobody talks about this part of business ownership. You know what I'm talking about? That feeling when you check your bank account, right? And you're like, maybe it's early in the morning. You're checking it as you're going potty. You know how we do. Maybe everyone else is asleep. Maybe you're sitting in your truck before you're heading to the office, or maybe you're scrolling through your banking app while you're drinking your coffee. And you see the money there. But instead of feeling relieved, you start feeling anxious because you don't actually know how much of it is truly yours. You know that payroll is coming. You know that vendors need to get paid. You know that taxes are just around that corner. You know there's a credit card payment due. You know there's another expense waiting for you that you haven't even thought about yet. So even if there's money in the account, you still don't feel confident. You feel uncertain. And uncertainty, my friend, uncertainty is exhausting. And that's the part that nobody sees. Your employees don't see it. Your customers don't see it. Your friends don't see it. They see the shiny trucks with the emblem. They see the projects. They see your social media posts. They see the revenue. What they don't see, though, is you, the owner, laying awake at night wondering if they're missing something, wondering where your money keeps going, wondering why you're working harder every single year, but you're not feeling more secure. Wondering if they're making the right decisions. And if that's you, I need you to hear something. You're not crazy, you're not failing, and you're definitely not alone. In fact, I would argue this is one of the most common experiences among business owners because nobody teaches us how to build that financial visibility. We learn how to perform our trade. We learn how to serve customers. We learn how to serve problems. But very few owners are taught how to truly understand the financial story of their own business. So they start guessing. And when people start guessing, they usually come to the same conclusion. I just need more customers. Now here's the myth, my friend. More customers equals more profit. Sometimes, but not always. And that's where people get into trouble. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've got a bucket. I was looking for something that could represent a bucket, but you know what? Bear with me. Every month, you're pouring revenue into that bucket. Customers, projects, sales, invoices, money goes in, but there's this hole at the bottom. Now, what most owners do, right? They just try to pour more water into this bucket, right? In the form of more customers, more jobs, more marketing, more sales, more volume, but that hole is still there. The leak never actually got fixed. So now you're working harder to keep up with the leak. And I grew up fishing out of a small town in Alaska, right? And so I equate this to trying to get the water bailed out of the boat, right? You've got a little skiff, you're taking on water, and you've got the bailer, and you're trying to get the water bailed out of the boat, but you're not fixing the leak. And that's exactly what happens in business. That leak might be poor pricing, uncontrolled overhead. It could be bad estimates. Maybe your crew is a little inefficient, right? Or you've got inventory issues or waste. Maybe you're providing unprofitable services that are just eating at the bottom line. Or maybe you have little to no processes in place. Or if you do have processes in place, maybe they're not set up the best. Or you're simply not understanding what's actually happening to your business financially. And here's the scary part. Revenue often hides those problems. When revenue is flowing, you can ignore a lot of mistakes. Revenue is what creates the illusion that everything is fine. Profit is what tells the truth. That's why I say all the time, revenue feeds your ego, but profit feeds your family. Revenue makes you feel successful, but profit determines whether you're actually building something that's sustainable. And I've seen businesses generating millions of dollars that were struggling financially. I've also seen smaller businesses generating less revenue but producing significantly more profit. So why does this happen? Because profitability isn't about how much money comes in. It's about how much money stays. And that changes everything. So let's pretend I walk into your business tomorrow, not as a coach, not as a consultant, just as someone trying to understand what's happening. There are 4 things I'd want to know immediately. First, do you know your profit percentage? Not what it was last year, not what your CPA said, not what you think it might be, but right now, today on the spot, could you tell me? Second, what services actually make you money? This one surprises owners all the time. The service generating the most revenue is often not the most profitable. Sometimes the thing creating the most work is producing the least profit. Third, where does your cash go every month? Could you confidently explain it? Or do you mostly rely on looking at your bank balance? Because your bank account doesn't tell the full story, it just tells the backstory. And fourth, if your revenue increased 20% tomorrow, would your profit increase too? Or would you simply create more chaos? More payroll, more stress, more overhead, more complexity. Those questions matter because they reveal visibility. And visibility is actually what creates control. And I truly believe that one of the biggest challenges facing business owners today isn't lack of effort. It is lack of visibility. Most owners I know, they're not lazy, they're exhausted. Most owners I know, they're not careless, they're overwhelmed. Most are not avoiding responsibility, they're just carrying too much responsibility. And when you're carrying everything, it's easy to lose sight of what matters most. That's why clarity is such a powerful business advantage. When you can start seeing clearly what's happening, decisions become easier. You stop guessing, you stop reacting, and you start leading. Now, I want to leave you with something very important. Profit is not greed. I think somewhere along the way, we've created this strange narrative that profit is selfish. It isn't. Profit creates options. Profit creates stability. Profit creates opportunity. Profit is what allows you to hire great people and to invest in growth and to survive difficult seasons. Profit allows you to serve customers at a higher level that they deserve. Profit allows you to give generously and protect your families. And that's why I care so much about this topic, because I've watched too many good business owners carry unnecessary stress. Not because they weren't smart enough, not because they weren't working hard enough, and not because they didn't care enough, because they couldn't clearly see what was happening. And when clarity arrives, everything changes. The stress starts to decrease. The confidence starts to increase. Your decision-making ability improves, and your leadership improves along the way. The business is going to get stronger, and most importantly, you as the owner start to feel like you're in control again. Not because everything is perfect, not because every problem magically disappeared overnight, but because you finally understand the truth, and that truth creates momentum. So if your business isn't profitable right now, don't automatically assume you need more customers. Ask a different question. What am I not seeing? Because there's a good chance your next breakthrough isn't hiding in another marketing campaign. It's already within your business. It's hiding in a process, a pricing model, a service line, a habit, a decision, a blind spot, a profit leak. And once you see it, you can fix it. Now remember, most business owners, they don't have a revenue problem. They just have a visibility problem. Revenue feeds your ego, profit feeds your family. And my friend, profit is not an accident. It is the result of clarity, intentionality, and leadership. Thanks for joining me on another episode. And until next time, keep more of what you earn, stress less, and let's go find the profit hiding inside your business. If this hit, there is a reason. Most businesses aren't broken. They just don't have clear visibility into where the money's actually going. So if you want help finding it, grab my free Profit Edge playbook or book a quick session with me. You'll find everything in the show notes. And if you haven't already, follow the show so you don't miss what's next.